What's up, guys? Welcome back to Chiefs Chat. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the NFL draft. Okay, it just ended a couple of days ago. In the Chiefs, we've got 10 new players coming onto the team. Okay, these guys are young, these guys are, ready, fresh, good to go, and they're coming on to help us win some more Super Bowls. Okay, and I'm excited. Really, you can't deny the fact that Brett Veach, he crushed it in this draft. Did a fantastic job. Traded up when we needed to, traded down when we needed to. Just a great job by Brett Veach, the best GM in the NFL. I think we can all agree that that's a fact. But, overall, I think the general consensus is that the Chiefs had one of the best drafts in the National Football League, and it's all thanks to Veach. So, thank you again, Brett Veach, fantastic GM. But let's get into these picks. Let's talk about why it is that this draft was so good. What exactly happened? That's kind of the main question here. Why is it that Brett Veach crushed it? Well, here is the first move that Brett Veach made, okay? We're sitting at pick 29, and we see a cornerback out of Washington. This guy, Trent McDuffie. And this guy is projected to be a top 15 pick. And here he is, sitting at number 21. Brett Veach, he said, hey, Bill Belichick, Patriots, let me trade up and get this cornerback. And that is exactly what Brett Veach did. Trent McDuffie, he's going to come in and immediately be our best cornerback. That's great. That is exactly what we need, okay? That right there addresses our biggest area of concern. Right off the bat, I am feeling great about this draft. Trent McDuffie, okay? Doesn't have the size you would want in a cornerback, but he has the fundamentals to be great, He's got great footwork, great speed, and really overall, he can stick on your, opposing wide receiver like glue. This guy, he is not going to give up a lot of catches. He's a fantastic player. Great first selection by Brett Veach. And then let's move on. Okay, we're sitting at pick number 30, and we saw this guy, George Karloftis. He's still sitting there at pick 30, projected to be one of the best edge rushers in this year's draft. Definitely top 3, if not better. And here he is at pick 30. Right off the bat, that's a great first round. We got this guy, George Karloftis. Huge guy, sitting at 275, 6'4", great fundamentals, and he can get to the quarterback. He's great at that. And this is a perfect pickup for the Chiefs. And really, when you think about it, a perfect first round. I know a lot of fans were disappointed we didn't go after a receiver, George Pickens, didn't trade up for a Jameson Williams, but I think what we did right here, I'm not sure you can ask for any better than that. We are addressing our two biggest areas of concern. We're sitting here before the draft like, we got Frank Clark, we got Chris Jones, but who else? We've got a couple of inside players, but who's going to be that edge rusher? Boom! George Karloftis, he's going to immediately be a starter. He's going to immediately make an impact. And then, of course, Trent McDuffie. We got L'Jarius Sneed, but who else, And now we've got Trent McDuffie. And quite a few other players, but we'll get to them. But that was the first round. And really, you can't ask for a better first round as a Chiefs fan. Just fantastic. Great pickups, players who were projected to go higher and ended up falling to us. We just had to pick him up. We could not help ourselves. This guy's still sitting here. We got to get him. That's exactly what Brett Veach did. So, great first round. Now, let's move on to the later picks, okay? Next pick, I know everyone's excited about this one. Pick number 54 in the second round, and we've got our wide receiver, Skye Moore. This guy, at the very best, is a top 3 wide receiver in this year's draft. And here he is sitting in the second round. This guy, he's got great fundamentals, and he is a guy who can perfectly replace what Tyreek Hill gave us in terms of speed. He's a very, very fast player, maybe not as fast, but he really does add a nice level to this offense. One that I don't think we had before picking up this guy, which is very important. Skye Moore, he's a great slot receiver, and he's a guy, I think he can, along with Mecole Hardman, these two guys, they are very, very fast, very good guys who can just catch the ball, turn around, and give you a quick 10 yards. They're very, very fast. And then, of course, you got MVS and Juju Smith-Schuster on the outside, big physical receivers that, they're going to get you big plays. So I really do like our, we've got some great wide receivers, especially after this pick. Again, Brett Veach, just a fantastic pick, a fantastic selection here. Skye Moore, I am super excited about this guy. And honestly, you guys know I love Mecole Hardman. I got the jersey on right here, but, Skye Moore, I think, is also going to become one of my favorite players just because he's similar in the sense that he is fast, but he's great at running routes. That's what you see in Skye Moore. He's so clean with his routes. Just boom, just beautiful. So we've got a fantastic group of wide receivers. And that, was one of the biggest concerns. Obviously, who's Patrick Mahomes going to throw the ball to? We already had a couple of good guys, but, we really need to solidify that spot after losing Tyreek Hill. And I think, overall, when you really think about it, compare our wide receiver room from last year to this year. Call me crazy, but I think we got better. I really do. We are way more deep. We've got, 4 or 5 guys who are just really, really solid. I mean, don't forget about Josh Gordon. He's still on the squad. So we've got some fantastic players at the wide receiver position. And Skye Moore, fantastic addition to that group. So let's move on to the next pick. Second round, okay, pick number 62, and this one I was really excited about, okay? Bryan Cook. This guy looks like he's going to be a stud. He plays just like Justin Reed. I think he really does match up well with Justin Reed. These two guys, deep safeties, they can do some great things. They're power hitters. Bryan Cook, I think he's going to compete with Juan Thornhill for a starting spot, I would not be surprised if he gets that starting spot. Great player. Really fantastic player. And I think what this pick does is it really does solidify that Daniel Sorensen type player that Steve Spagnuolo loves to put in our defense, especially on third down. He's a guy who can play a hybrid linebacker spot. He's a guy who can do a few things for this defense. And I'm super excited to have him on the squad. Bryan Cook, great pick. Okay, again, Brett Veach making the correct selection, helping this team get better. I mean, really, when you take a look at the 3 picks that we've made on defense just, this far, I'm not even halfway through the players that we've selected, but so far, our defense is already looking way better. We've plugged up so many great holes, Having a guy like Daniel Sorensen on the team, Daniel Sorensen didn't really do his job last year. Now we've got this guy, Bryan Cook, who can play that job perfectly. And then we've got our solidified corner spot, our guy who can really lock up your best receiver. And then we've got a bona fide edge rusher on the other side, okay? Fantastic, okay? But let's keep it rolling. Let's not stop there, okay? Moving into the third round, and we've got another young linebacker in Leo Chenal, okay? Here he is. We've already got Willie Gay. We've already got Nick Bolton. We've already got Mike Dana. And here we go with Leo Chenal, okay? Great player out of Wisconsin, okay? And he is going to be another one of those young linebackers that can really grow, Really good pick for Brett Veach. I'm excited about this guy. Big physical guy, and he just, you can see it in the way that he plays. He just wants to put you on the ground. That's exactly what he wants to do. Every time you see him step onto the field, it just looks like he wants to kill you. That's exactly what it looks like. And I think that's exactly what he's going to play like in Kansas City, Fantastic player. Another great pick in the third round for Brett Veach. Outstanding. Fourth round pick, okay? Let's not stop there. Let's keep it rolling, okay? Joshua Williams, okay? Cornerback. And here is what I find interesting about some of these later selections by Brett Veach. This guy, he's lengthy, and that's what I like in a quarterback. We picked up Trent McDuffie, who's about 5'10", not exactly the biggest corner, definitely on the smaller end of things, but here we are getting a guy like Joshua Williams, who, man, he could use some polishing around the edges, but you know what? He has the frame to be able to be great at the cornerback position, and that's what I like to see. I think Brett Veach really did take that into consideration, getting these guys who are lengthy, have a really good frame, a couple of guys who needed some polishing around the edges, and then boom, maybe we can bring him in and really do something with him. After all, we've got Andy Reid on the team. He's a fantastic head coach. Fifth round pick, 145, the Chiefs select Darian Canard, offensive lineman. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, hey, we've already got a really, really good offensive line, and, you're right about that. We do. But really, when you take a look at the offensive line, we've got 4 positions that are really solidified. You've got, Orlando Brown Jr., Pro Bowl left tackle. Left guard, Joe Thuney, fantastic. Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith are 2 outstanding rookies from last season. And then you're like, right tackle, you got Lucas Niang, you got Andrew Wiley, but who's really going to be that guy? And I think Darian Canard, he's got potential to really be that guy. And I really do think he could be competing with Lucas Niang for a starting spot right there. Just a great player. All around, fantastic pickup. And don't forget last year, we picked up Trey Smith in the 6th round. This guy, a 5th round selection, he could really do something for us, Fantastic player. Darian Canard, welcome. 7th round pick, okay? Didn't have a 6th round selection, but we went ahead, pick number 243. We picked up this guy, Jaylen Watson. Now, this guy, sitting in the 7th round, I just feel like we had to get this guy. I mean, he is 6'3", 204 pounds. This guy is a physical cornerback. You don't see a lot of guys that big at the cornerback position. And this goes along with what I was saying. I think Brett Veach in the final couple of rounds was really looking at size for the cornerback position, which I think is definitely what we need. Because we've got L'Jarius Sneed, we've got Trent McDuffie, but these two guys, they're on the shorter end of things, a little smaller. They do everything else right, but size, not exactly something they can, say that they've got. But these couple of guys that we've got here in the later rounds, they've got size, They just need, like I said, some polishing around the edges, fix these guys up, make them fundamentally good football players, and I think they could be fantastic, considering the fact that they're already huge, So that'd be great for us. Jaylen Watson, a guy who I'm really excited about in the 7th round. Great 7th round selection, honestly. And here's a guy a lot of people are also excited about, okay? 7th round selection, running back, Isaiah Pacheco. I could be pronouncing that wrong, I'm sorry, Isaiah. I know your first name, I don't know your last name, I'm sorry. I'm not good with names, I suck. But here he is, okay, running back. This guy, he's physical, and that's what I like about him, okay? He's not necessarily the fastest guy, he does have a bit of speed, and I really do think he could be competing for a kick returner spot, because he's a physical runner, very good with the football, and he can really just, bulldoze you, and that's exactly what I like about this guy. Coming out of Rutgers, just kind of a low-profile guy, which is really good for the Chiefs because, these type of guys fall to the 7th round, and some of these guys end up being really, really good. So this guy, he could answer some questions at the running back spot because, we've got Rojo, we've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but we don't really have a solid number 1 guy. And I'm not saying this guy's going to end up being that, but, I mean, hey, anything happens, Tom Brady was a 6th round selection, and this guy ended up winning a bunch of Super Bowls. You never know. Isaiah Pacheco. Sorry, I'm definitely not getting that last name right, but Isaiah, this guy, he could be the next Adrian Peterson. Maybe. And last pick that we're going to be talking about today, okay? 7th round pick, obviously. Nazee Johnson. Another secondary player. This guy, he plays safety. He also plays a little bit of corner, so he's versatile, and I really do think that's why Brett Veach selected him because, he can play corner, he can play safety, and he's really, got the full package here. A guy who definitely needs some polishing around the edges, but just a great, natural athlete. Ran a 4.35 in the 40-yard dash. That's really solid. And again, 6'2", 189 pounds. He's got the size and he's got the speed. He has the athleticism, and I think bringing him onto the team, we've got a great group of coaches that can really help him elevate his game. And I'm excited about this player, and I'm excited about every single one of these players. I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I mean, what a draft. We've just got some great players on the team, and I'm very excited about the direction this team is going in. So, if you guys have any thoughts, comments, drop them down in the comments below. I'll be, always love talking football. So, I'll respond to any thoughts or comments you guys might have. So, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Excited about this football team, and I'll see you guys in the next Chiefs chat. Peace out.